Hi guys, this is Leslie from Vino 301, and I'm laughing because, of course, I am looking at a gentleman cut a king cake, and
I want some.
yeah, and we want some. We want some. So, hi, I'm Leslie from Vino 301, and this is Christina, and she is with Just the Bottle. And today we are here at Hellbenders. Um, and you can tell we're in Washington, D.C. Those who know the Washington flag, this is really cute and innovative. And we are talking about beer because this month is February, and February, February, if you guys didn't get that. And beer has always been a mystery to me. And so Christina and I have met. She is from the DMV area, but tell them where we met.
We met at Wine Bloggers Conference in California because apparently we couldn't meet in DC
Exactly.
area.
Yes, exactly. So Christina is also a fellow blogger, and she is very modest, but she knows all things about a lot of things. Um, and like a lot of good things because when they say people who know a little bit about everything,
Yeah.
they don't know
They
whatever.
don't know anything.
So, but she does. She knows a lot about a lot. So I'm going to let you tell everybody about yourself.
Sure. So, as she mentioned, I'm Christina Ports. I have a blog, justthebottle.com. I'm also on Twitter and Instagram. I'm originally from the Miami, Florida area. Came to the DC area in 2004 and have loved it. Getting into the wine and beer aspect, DC has grown exponentially in the food, wine, beer scene. It's amazing the camaraderie that is available here. I have been writing since about 2010 or so. Always really enjoyed beer and wine and spirits, but I really got more into it and more of an education after I lost a job at a nonprofit and was working in wine and beer and spirits on the side and started writing. So I always tell people, even if you are active industry, writing, getting a social media presence can be amazing for you as well to get other opportunities besides if you're just bartending or serving. It really opens a lot of doors. After that, continued working in nonprofits, but also continued my education in wine. A lot of it too is just enjoying it, like going out there, talking to people, sampling, and meeting people. Leslie and I talked a little bit about this would be a great opportunity, even though I'm not an expert or a cicerone per se, but I've enjoyed beer for a while, and we thought it might be fun to like chat a little bit for the time. And we're at Hellbender right now, which is the amazing brewery in DC. It's actually in my neighborhood. You've probably seen some of their beer around. I think they recently celebrated 5 years, their 5th anniversary.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I think that was the 5th anniversary. I could be wrong. If people want to comment or with questions or correct me, feel free. But they actually do give people locals, if you have the zip code for the brewery on your license, you'll get a discount when you come. They have happy hour specials on certain nights. And I'm actually starting off with a Kolsch. So maybe that's a good starting point.
Yeah, that's a good start. Okay, so what is a Kolsch?
So this is kind of just like a German lager. This is something I go to a lot. There's a lot produced in from Europe, but I feel like it's gaining popularity in America for a while now. Usually, I find them more sessionable, meaning that they're lower ABV. They're between 4 to 6%. It's clean, it's simple, it's refreshing. I feel like it's a good palate cleanser. It's a good way to start. It's great when it's 100 degrees out.
So, okay, my lack of beer knowledge. So I'm going to just throw around the terms. You know how somebody says if they're drinking wine, they're like, oh, it has legs, and that really doesn't mean anything. So is it hoppy? Would you describe it as hoppy?
No, not this one.
Mhm.
But I feel like some can be perceived as hoppy, depending how the brewing style is.
Okay.
And the hops that are used are and again, the technical I'm really bad at sometimes. But there's like this amount when it comes to IBUs and kind of that influences bitterness as well as the hop level that's used in production. Again, people correct me because I'm trying to remember everything. I've only studied very minimally. But yeah, I would just say it's hard to, you know what, if I was describing it as a wine, it would remind me of, I hate to say this way, but kind of like a Pinot Grigio. So think about it as just
which
being
is
clean,
very
easy drinking. I think it'd be easy to pair it with a lot of food Kolsch because I just feel like it wouldn't overpower it.
Okay.
Like, and that's why, like I said, this is just a go-to of mine when it's done well. And like, there's a I don't know what they'd be considered, Pulaski. They produce beer. I don't know if they're Nano Brewery or what have you. And they had a lager that was fabulous. And they kind of said things like, beer doesn't always have to be complicated, barrel aged, incredibly hoppy, incredibly bitter. And the thing is, with certain styles, especially the lager, it can go terribly wrong. It is, you know what it's like? It's almost like Pinot Noir. You know how Pinot Noir is so subjective, like it gets heat, and it's such a temperamental grape.
Yes.
Lager is a temperamental beer in the sense that if the temperature is not right, and it just goes haywire.
It just goes bad.
Yeah,
it goes bad quickly.
During the production, you just don't maintain everything perfectly. That's why I believe when it was originally brewed, it was in winter months.
Okay.
To be stored in caves to maintain temperature, if I recall that correctly. But so it's one of those where, like, I like that. Like, sometimes it's like there's beauty in simplicity and having that executed perfectly.
Yes. And sometimes when I just want to have something to drink, I don't want anything complex or heavy on the palate or, have to analyze it. I just want something good to drink. And it sounds like that's what it is. Like, it's a go-to. I'm watching TV. I'm watching a movie. It's very simple. I'm going to have a burger, and this is what I pick up.
I would totally say that. And to go into a little bit like the way you're describing that, it's like I think that's helpful for people when like they don't know beer and don't know what they like.
Right.
So it's like, okay, what is your goal, or like what we had talked a little bit about. I think I mentioned this to Leslie earlier. There's a gentleman who's designed some really amazing beer programs in the DC area. And
would you like to give him a shout out?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like everyone knows him, but Greg Ingert. And he's won multiple Grammy Awards. But with his beer program, he was famous for saying something along the lines of not designing it in the way that what people love, but like what were the elements they hated most about IPAs. And then he used those like kind of adjectives. And sometimes I think it's, instead of you focusing on, well, I think I love this, because I feel like people are unsure about that.
Right.
What do you hate? What do you drink and go or eat, or the smell, and you're just like, I can't stand that? Well, let's not serve that to you. Like, Sauvignon Blanc, like if you're like, oh, if this smells like cat urine, I'm going to die. Okay, well then let's not give you a New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc because it's too risky.
Right. Well, it's so funny because out of all, well, not all, the universe of varietals, Sauvignon Blanc is my least favorite. So it's funny you say that. And when people, I think the other thing is people just want to enjoy their beverages.
Yeah.
And so when you start asking them, well, what do they like? They start to feel a little intimidated because they don't feel like they're the expert, and they are a little embarrassed to say, oh, well, I feel like the aromas, or, they're concerned about the terminology, but people can always tell you what they don't like. Like, I can tell you exactly what I don't like about Sauvignon Blanc. But we won't go there right now.
Yeah, and isn't that helpful to just get that off the table? If you're like, I don't want piney. all right, let's not even look at the IPAs. Let's
Yeah.
just move on.
Mhm,
Like, let's
mhm.
not even sample that. Let's not waste our time. And it just makes it easier for everyone. I think, oh, look, William is here. Hi, William.
Hi, William.
William was on the, we did a historic hotel bar crawl yesterday, so joined us for that fun. But yeah, when you visit a brewery, if you've never been, you know, it's a very fun experience, similar to a winery. I mean, these are people where this was their passion, and their passion they were able to turn it into a business. So it's always remembering that, like when you visit anything else,
Mhm.
like this is your fun day and your holiday and your trip, but
Right.
also this is their place of work.
Mhm.
And so they're doing this to generate revenue. This is not just a hobby, you know. Sometimes I think people forget that when it comes to, you know, especially because there's so many people passionate about brewery.
Right.
No one's trying to judge you. Same as with wine or anywhere else. I'm sure you have
Mhm,
guests who feel
mhm.
like everyone judges them or doesn't like them.
Yeah.
People want you to have fun. They know you're here
Mhm.
because you're on that brewery bus tour and you're celebrating your birthday. And they want to make you have a great birthday.
Right.
You know, within reason.
His swinging, his dancing on the tables.
Let's not destroy
Anymore.
property. Let's not get too
Right.
wasted. You know. That's within reason.
Well, you know what I like about, but I want to go back to like helping people select. What I like about breweries, which is much different from the winery atmosphere, is I can go into a brewery and it is kind of like sitting in my living room because they have games that you can play. And not saying that, you know, I'm going to break out the Uno cards every time I'm here, but it's someplace where you can enjoy a great beverage and just relax and hang out with your friends or do whatever. And I was asking the gentleman behind the bar here, do they have food? And he said, no, they don't have food, but you can Uber Eats here. Like, what is better than that? So you can always bring something with you here. And I don't think it's just limited here. There's a lot of places that allow that flexibility.
I would say most breweries allow you to bring in outside food, unless there's somehow a brew pub. And that's like, again, depending what you're doing, if you're doing a tour or you're just going on your own, if you have time, feel free to visit the website or their Twitter, Instagram, or their Facebook, because they'll tell you what the parameters are, or you can call ahead. And a lot of times they'll tell you, we're having a food truck. A lot of them have food truck on Saturdays.
Yes, he said they have an amazing taco truck that is pulling up here around 3:00. So if you guys are in the
Is that a
neighborhood,
food truck today?
yeah, it's a taco truck that is going to be here. So if you are in Northeast Washington, which this is like incredible neighborhood area, like you are literally able to just walk down the street and go to the brewery. I love this about this.
There's also a Walmart nearby, and I may have gotten some really good manchego there and brought it in here before. Walmart has good manchego, and it's cheaper than Trader Joe's.
We're just saying. We're just saying. So I am drinking a nitro.
Yes.
And
You're drinking the, so it's the North by Northeast, the coffee stout, and it's on nitro. And nitro, as you know, adds a creamy element to it.
Yes. And that's why I like it. I like that full body feeling to it.
A lot of beers are in nitro now. Highly recommend seeing if you like what it does to the taste and the mouthfeel.
Right. But it does, what I did learn is when it does that, it reduces the aromas. So, because I did a stare and compare and a taste and sip between the non-nitro and the nitro one, and the aromas, like definitely you could get that coffee feel.
Yeah.
And I enjoy that, but I like the textures more. Yeah.
And that's another thing. What do you, again, I'm the same way. Like sometimes I really want full-bodied, lush, velvety red wine. There's just something about like it coating my mouth that I love. Again, got to be in the mood, and maybe be at home so that my teeth don't get purple when I'm out. But that's also a good thing about that's also a good thing about beer. You can enjoy some really robust beers, and your teeth don't go purple.
But you know that some of that um, is from stabilizing the wine.
Oh.
So it's the chemicals that are added to stabilize the wine. And not saying it's a bad wine, it's just the winemaker, and that's what causes some of that staining too.
Mm,
So if you go organic, which
mm.
is hard to find, a lot of organics. I mean, there are more out there.
They
You
just
don't
might
have
not be
that. Yeah.
certified.
hmm Yeah, there are a lot out there. Okay, so I was sharing with you because I am not a beer person. I am learning. I'm trying to do my best. And that's how I learned that I like stouts.
Okay.
Okay, so it can be intimidating, like wine can be intimidating. And if you are hanging out with your friends at one of these great breweries and you see the menu on the wall that goes on for like a couple centuries, and there it doesn't say Bud Light there, how do you figure out what you want?
Definitely. Well, for example, places might have, we're at Hellbender now, and Leslie has some great pictures, but they have a chalkboard sign with the beers in general, but then they have printed menu handouts that are laminated that you can then sit and review and actually look at the tasting notes of what's involved in those beers and a little bit
Mhm.
background. So you can always ask, is there a menu that gives me a little more information? And you can take a step back, breathe, kind of like read things. Always can't hurt to tell them again when you talk to staff, say, it's my first time here. Um, I really hate IPAs. Can I taste something you recommend I start with? Why not throw it in the ball in their court? They might give you a couple of little samples and then tell you which ones those are, and you start from there.
Right.
And then always, what's nice about breweries, beer funds.
Mm-hmm.
Always, it's usually an affordable thing,
Yeah.
and they usually
Yes.
recommend it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times they'll give you a paddle, some kind of like wooden device that they set it in. Take your own notes and kind of go, okay, I've now tried these 4 or 5 beers. I'm in love with the middle one. I'm going to now go get a full pint of that.
Yeah, and you know what I love about that is they're not little pours either. You know, they're not like if you go to a winery and they give you that 1.5 ounce, which I dislike, but this is not about my dislikes today. They're generous pours, so you can like really sip it, see how you like it, and then that's a great way of making a decision.
Totally. Some people there's apps, some people have books to keep notes. Untapped it's been popular forever, but I find that it just takes me on the moment. It's like doing social media. Sometimes it's like, are you really enjoying the beer, or are you too busy trying to get badges? And
right.
Just maybe, like I said, try like 4 or 5, and then maybe go, okay, this is the one I love. Maybe have a backup, but don't worry about trying to remember everything. Breweries are very popular with, they love giving tours. Wineries, not as much anymore. I feel like wineries, you go and you do a tasting with a tasting associate, who sometimes is called wine educator. I have my own feelings on that.
We're going to have a part 2 about how we really feel about things.
How we really feel about titles called wine educator when you're just selling wine from that winery and no certification. But anyways, but the goal here is that, they want you, like you said.
Right.
It's like they're inviting you into their home. Like, there's seating, there's games, there's music, there's TV.
Yes.
Come to the back and come now see how we do this. Like it's almost like they're inviting you to the kitchen.
Right.
It's a very personal experience. Like, again, these are people, it's a business, but this is an important passion.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think it's, which is interesting because the growth in the beer industry is just off the chain. It just, you see a lot of them around, and I'm encouraged by that. I mean, even being a wino, I'm very encouraged to see that.
I would say if you're in the DC area, dcbeer.com. DC Beers on Twitter and Instagram. They have a lot of great material about beer in general, the beer culture, but also events in the area, information on breweries in the area. It's like an amazing resource. And there's different blogs and Twitters you can follow just in general about beer or local beer bloggers.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking about women, there's a group called Girls Pint Out. Pint, P-I-N-T. That is for women who love beer. They'll do, they have different chapters. They have one in DC. They get together and do beer tastings and go to breweries.
So it's called, what's the name of it? We'll put it in the comments here. So those who are interested can follow along. What's the name of it again?
Girls Pint Out.
Girls Pint Out. That's really cool. This is the only second fact that I know. So, and then don't ask me anything else. But what I learned is the largest population of craft beer lovers are women from the ages of 25 to 35. So if you're interested and you're kind of nervous about it, or you want to find other like-minded beer people, then I think that's a great way of finding out about it and going out with people.
It is. And there are some prominent women writers. There's a woman who has worked in beer for a while, Tammy Portnoy, and she's been in a few places. She's a great person. She's very knowledgeable. I don't know where she's at now. Liz, I'm blanking her name. She's Naptown.
I knew Liz. Yes. She's
a great beer writer.
She writes for the Capitol.
That's right.
Yes.
But there's Good Beer Hunting is a blog, and they just did a really good. Some people didn't like it, but everyone's whatever.
Well, everybody has an opinion.
It was about beer and is it a boys' culture, the breweries and behind the scenes and different things, and they dealt with a little bit LGBT issues, mostly women, and some issues of people of color and African Americans.
Oh,
so it's a really good article if you're curious about.
Yeah, I am curious. Now you piqued my interest.
Laura Lopez, I believe, she's on Twitter. I can share info later.
Okay.
She's going to write more on the women issue, I think, and possibly people of color issue. She's in the DC area.
Okay.
She'd be another good person to talk to.
Okay.
But there's a guy who is pretty amazing. He's living in St. Petersburg. He's a Cicerone, and he's judging a Florida beer competition, and he is really promoting beer within different communities, especially the African American community. Ducci.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen him.
No, I havenent. So
He's a cool guy.
So you threw out a term, a cicerone, and what is a cicerone?
Like a psalm.
Okay.
Like a sommelier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's different degrees, and I've even talked to some people who have their own beer programs. Some find it enough. Some find that they still have to design their own beer program to educate staff.
Okay.
So again, when you go somewhere, don't feel like people are judging you because that server may have just went through their own boss's beer program.
It could be their first day.
It could be their first day,
right.
and they are learning beer too.
Right.
You know, so I think it's just, again, enjoy what you like. And let people know. That's another thing too is they talk about this in the restaurant business, and you've probably seen this too, where people aren't happy about something and then they go and complain on Yelp or somewhere else.
Right.
If you're not enjoying the experience, if you don't like that beer, tell them.
Yes,
Don't force yourself to drink it and then go, well, I don't like that brewery. Well, you drink a beer.
And I don't like beer. Right.
And I don't like that beer. Well,
Mm-hmm.
maybe that was not a style for you. Just tell them.
Right.
Like, I am not enjoying this. They'd rather pour that out and give you something
Exactly.
you like and you're happy and come back and maybe do a growler fill of something you like than you going, oh, yeah, I hate that brewery.
Yeah.
I hate that beer.
Now, let me ask you this question. We were talking about a Pinot Noir, and a Pinot Noir is not the same wherever you go. Like, it changes regionally, it changes just within a region, different styles for winemakers. Is that the same with beer? Like, if I go and I get a nitro stout someplace else, is it going to be similar, or is it going to be different?
I think people's preferences and the beer culture in each city is going to be
Okay.
slightly different. I do think that there's some that stick to. There's within a range before.
Okay.
So like you said, yeah, like a Burgundy Pinot Noir is going to be different from an Oregon.
Right.
But it's a Pinot Noir.
Exactly.
I think that happens.
Okay.
I think sometimes there might be some differences. I have heard, and I thought this is a little extreme, someone told me that I think it was Colorado IPAs are different because the river water is a different temperature and quality. And I was like, that's a lot.
I think it's the altitude going to their head. I think that's what that is.
I feel like everyone's got their own
right
with that.
Right.
Like, it's like, but there's people who do that too. Isn't there? I mean, I love bagels, and there's a lot of places that love bagels.
Oh yeah. Like people are crazy. Like, but this is
New
not
York
a New York
water.
bagel.
I need the New York water. It's like,
I guess because it's polluted.
Right.
Exactly. And this is only our first beer today.
Yeah, I'm feeling much better after that beer, though. Oh, gosh. What I would also say, too, again, tours can be overwhelming depending on how many breweries you're doing in one day, but I do love a good tour. 3 Stars also has a really great tour where they talk about their story, and I think that's really important is people can produce a great beer, but are they great people? The DC beer community is filled with so many amazing people with such great stories of why they got into beer, what they produce, how involved they are in the community. I know a lot of them do a lot of nonprofit work or fundraising. A lot are involved with St. Baldrick's, which is a childhood cancer nonprofit. And they'll go to Boundary Stone. They've raised tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars for it, which is great. I would say too. Sorry, I'm all over the place.
Disorganized. Well, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you talk about tours, you're not talking about Vino 301 bringing the bus up. You're talking about, I come to the brewery. I'm really interested as the person behind the counter when their tours are.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay.
You can and you can find that online, but when you show up, ask them. When is there a public tour? Sometimes they have private tours too. But join the public tour. The thing I would say, there's no stupid questions if you want to ask them aloud or to the people after. But within reason, like with anything, I've seen people where they want to be the know-it-all.
Oh, there's always. Always.
Yeah, and I mean, and if you're trying to learn more, feel free to ask a little bit. But I mean, this has also always been one of my pet peeves. I once wrote an article with someone on this. When people are coming for these tours or anywhere else, my thing is, this is not a full-on seminar. There are classes you can take in wine, beer, anything else. And if you want that, that's fine. And even sometimes breweries and other places will have a special session where they'll do a beer tasting and give you, background and explanation of how they produce it. But again, if you start drilling into all these specifics, it's just not fair to the staff, anyone else.
Or other people who are on the tour.
If
you really are, this is a little more than your hobby, then there are classes available.
That's what I mean.
You can take.
Yeah. Again, with any of these places, you really enjoy them, sign up for their email listserv. Sign up for their email newsletter. Ask them, when's the next time you have a class? Do you have a beer club? 3 Stars has an Illuminati Society. What does that entail? What's the price point? How do I join? Ask. They want you involved.
That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I like Illuminati Society.
That is pretty cool. So before we wrap it up, so what's been going on with you? Is there anything that you'd like the audience to know about, or anything that's happening?
Yes. So I have an exciting trip coming up. I'm going to be doing a media trip to Spain. I'm going to be going to Diomantzant, learning more about, it's like a subset of Catalonia, learning a little bit more about that wine, and it's, I haven't been to Spain in a long time, so I'm really excited. And there's some great people who actually were at Wine Bloggers Conference. And they're going to go, and there's a local wine blogger, Frank Morgan, who will also be on the trip. and he's a great man.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That is really cool. And I'm going to be carrying the luggage. I wasn't invited, so I'm going to carry her luggage.
Yeah, that was a great opportunity. Yeah, I would say that's maybe it for now. But
I think that's pretty exciting. So you have to let us know, like, post how it went, and we'll have to tag you in pictures, and so people can see that.
Oh yes, definitely. I would love to do some more video for that. So I'm still experimenting. So it's such a great opportunity when Leslie offered to do this, because I know she does this so well, and she also does Squirrel Suite with a group of lovely women. They do really great things with video, as well as Jen Nelson.
Yes.
With Wine Antics. They also did a panel on video at Wine Bloggers Conference that was really informative. So this is a medium I'm trying to experiment with and be better at. So thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thanks for being here. And again, I just want to remind everybody that it is February in Maryland, and you can go to the Maryland Craft Beer Association website and find out all of the activities. I know that there is a beer and chili cook-off. There is coming up this weekend on the 17th. There is a big beer rodeo. So if you want to try a lot of the Maryland craft beers, go to that website. We'll add this also in the post, that address, so you can find that out. And then the last thing, I know this is a beer blog, but I just want to remind everybody that next Sunday, February 18th, is National Drink Wine Day. It is our own holiday.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited about that. We are hosting, Vino 301 is hosting a wine tasting at Red Wine in Annapolis. So we still have tickets available. We would love to celebrate with you. So check us out on the website. Thanks, and have a great day. Take care. Bye.